everyone. Today we're going to discuss about Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs theory. Maslow's hierarchy of needs is a theory in psychology. It argues that there are 5 stages of human needs that motivates our behavior. First, there are physiological needs, such as need to breathe, drink, eat, or sleep. And now we are done for stage 1, and now we are going to stage 2, which is safety. Safety is the one that makes us want to earn some money and build full shelter to avoid dangers. For the stage 3, we seek for love and belonging. We desire to be close on family and friends, especially to the people that we love. And for the stage 4, there is esteem. Esteems make us that we want to be different from others, like you want to be someone, like you are being competitive and need to be above from others and be someone. Students, sportsmen, and inventors excel. If you achieve all the 4 stages, you can now acquire stage 1, which is self-actualization. Now we can relax, be creative, accept facts for what they are, give back, or do whatever we want. So that's it. That's the Abraham Maslow hierarchy of needs. Maslow's hierarchy of needs theory. So for the second topic, we are talking about 5 personality factors by Robert McCrae and Paul Costa. Costa and McCrae followed the footsteps of Isaac, but they explained slightly upon the number of second-order factors. The result of their efforts became one of the most widely respected perspectives on personality structure today, which is the 5-factor model of personality. Indeed, the 5-factor model has been so well researched that has supported and expanded that the original conception that Costa and McCrae believed in now deserves to be referred as the 5-factor theory. So, let's discuss the 5-factor theory of personality. What is the 5-factor of theory of personality? It consists of 5 different personalities like neuroticism, extraversion, openness to experience, agreeableness, and conscientiousness. In the 5-factor personalities, you can be in a high score or low score. First is neuroticism. If you are in a low score description, you are calm, even-tempered, self-satisfied, comfortable, unemotional, and hardy. But if you are in a high score description, you are worrying, temperamental, self-pitying, self-conscious, emotional, and vulnerable. For the next, let's talk about extraversion. If you are on a low score description, you are reserved, loner, quiet, passive, sober, and unfeeling. But if you are in a high score definition, you are affectionate, joiner, talkative, active, fun-loving, and passionate. Next is openness to experience. If you are on a low score description, you are down to earth, uncreative, conversational, prefer routine, uncurious, and conservative. But if you are in a high score definition, you are imaginative, creative, original, prefer variety, curious, and liberal. Next is agreeableness. If you are in the low score description, you are ruthless, suspicious, steamy, antagonist, critical, and irritable. And if you are in a high score description, you are soft-hearted, trusting, generous, unquiescent, lenient, and good-natured. And for the last is consciousness. If you are in a low score description, you are negligent, lazy, disorganized, late, aimless, and quitting. And if you are in a high score description, you are conscientious, hardworking, well organized, punctual, ambitious, and persevering. So that's it. And have low score description and high score description, which tells your personality. And for our last topic, we're going to talk about attitudes and behavior. What is the definition of attitude and behavior? Attitude is a feeling, belief, or opinion of approval or disapproval towards something. Behavior is an action or reaction that occurs in response to an event or internal stimuli. For example, what is your opinion on the death penalty? Which political party does a better job of running this country? Should a prayer be allowed in schools? Should violence or televisions be regulated? Chances are that you probably have very strong emotions on these and similar questions. You've developed attitudes about such issues, and these attitudes influence your beliefs as well as your behavior. Attitudes are an important topic of study within the field of social psychology. But what exactly is an attitude? How does it develop? This is how psychologists define attitude. Psychologists define attitude as a learned tendency to evaluate things in a certain way. This can include evaluations of people, issues, objects, or events. Such as evaluations are often positive or negative, but they can also be uncertain at times. For example, you might have mixed feelings about a particular person or an issue. Researchers also suggest that there are several different components that make up attitudes. The components of attitudes are sometimes referred to CUB or the ABCs of attitude. So we have three components of attitude, like cognitive component, which is your thoughts and beliefs about the subject; affective component, how the person, issue, or event makes you feel; behavioral component, how attitude influences your behavior. Attitudes can be also explicit and implicit. Explicit attitudes are those that we are consciously aware of and that certainly influence our behaviors and beliefs. And implicit attitudes are unconscious but still have an effect on our beliefs and behaviors. And now we are talking about factors influencing attitude strength. Attitude and belief. We tend to assume that people behave according to their attitudes. However, social psychologists have found that attitudes and actual behavior are not always perfectly aligned. After all, plenty of people support a particular candidate or political party and yet to fail to go out and vote. People are also more likely to behave accordingly to their attitudes under certain conditions. Let's talk about why attitude change, not set in stone. The same influences that lead to attitude formation can also create attitude change. Sometimes our attitude changes because of the event or something happened within behavior. So thank you guys for listening, and I hope you learned something.